Hello guys and welcome back to another video. Today we are analyzing the draft for the Eagles. So last week I analyzed the draft, or beginning of this week I analyzed the draft for everybody else, winners and losers and surprises I thought personally. Now let's get right on into the Eagles draft. So the first pick they drafted was Jalen Reagor. I really like this selection. Jalen Reagor has great top end speed. He has explosive ability, and it's what we needed. I think last year is because we didn't have anybody that you could throw them the ball and they could really just break out and score a touchdown, even if it was a short pass. Jalen Reagor, shows a lot of potential in that, in the NFL. I think he could be really good, and I think coming into next year, he could be a key part of the Eagles wide receiver core, and I really, really like that selection. I am going to be going through the wide receivers right now because I think that was a really important part of this draft, and I think it should have been because, there was a couple wide receivers on the board that or the couple wide receivers that the Eagles selected that I'm very happy with because I think it's really going to help out Carson Wentz. We traded for a couple from the 49ers, but I'm going to go over the ones just in the draft right now. So then we have John Hightower from Boise State, wide receiver, really fast dude, and he has good hands. So I think that's going to be good for the Eagles. We dropped the ball in a lot of key situations last year, so I think it's good we got someone that has pretty good hands and that can catch. Then the next one we have is Quez Watkins from Southern Mississippi. He had the third fastest 40 time in the league, and so I think that's really positive. Our wide receiver core wasn't as fast last year, and I think it's very positive that we have, a player that was insanely fast in the 40. So I think that's good. Just going through the whole draft, by taking a look at it, I think the Eagles, and Howie Roseman has said this before, is that the Eagles really prioritize speed and the youth. They were one of the oldest teams in the league last year, and so they wanted to make sure that everybody knew that they were going to just run them hard because, they needed a fast team to compete with other, like, big juggernauts like the Kansas City Chiefs and the 49ers and so many other teams that have a lot of speed. So we needed some speed, and that's what we went out and got in the draft. I also like the pick. Unlike some people, I think it is a questionable pick, but I don't think it's a bad pick. Is us picking up Jalen Hurts. Now, Jalen Hurts, in my opinion, can be a good quarterback in the NFL. He needs to get his throwing mechanics down, and he needs to become a better pocket passer. But I think he could be, a top 10 quarterback in the league someday. But I really like him as a backup for now, and I think he's a great guy to have in the locker room. He has, that winning experience in college, and he wants to win. From what I've heard from him, he really just wants to get in and start working out, and I think that's a great thing. So I think it's a very positive thing that, we drafted him a little high in the second round, but if we really thought he was going to get picked soon, now, I'm okay with that because we need a backup quarterback. I just think back, if we would have had him in the playoffs when Carson Wentz got injured, we had to put in Josh McCown. I would have much rather had Jalen Hurts in there personally. So I think it'll be good for the team if Carson Wentz consistently keeps getting injured. I hope he doesn't, but with him, you just never know sometimes. So yeah, next on to Davion Taylor, outside linebacker, and also can play that safety position. He's a very fast athlete, very raw athlete. He's lacking in size a bit, but is a very good. He always is, making a play on the ball, and he's always like looking for that ball and to tackle someone. So it's good. He doesn't have a lot of football experience because in high school, because of his religion, he wasn't able to play very much, and he only played 2 games, I believe, in high school, and then finally got on a JUCO team, and then moved his way up to Colorado. And so, it's a really cool story, but it'll be interesting to see how much he needs to develop in the league, and so yeah, that'll be interesting. The next one we have here is Kayvon Wallace. And Kayvon Wallace, he can play the nickel, corner, safety position. He lined up in slot a good amount, but he's not very big or long enough to, line up against those tight ends, my bad. So yeah, moving on to the next pick, we have Jack Dorsey out of Auburn, and there's two Auburn players that I really like here. It's Prince Tegawanogo, I think it is. I don't know how to pronounce that name, but I think it is that. And then Jack Dorsey. Both out of Auburn, both very good players, one guard, one tackle. I think those are very good offensive linemen, and it'll be interesting to see what the Eagles do with him, or do with them, with, Jason Peters probably retiring after this year. Maybe he'll come back for one more year, but he doesn't have much left. I think it's good that we're addressing those two positions, and I think one of those two at least can become a starter for us, and maybe both of them can. I think they'd be, very good players. Then Sean Bradley from Temple. I love that pick. He's a local guy, and it'll be interesting to see what he does. And that is about it. We got Casey Toohill out of Stanford. That's a defensive end that I think is okay. I don't think he's going to make much of an impact, but we'll see, It'll be interesting to see, but I really do like the Eagles draft here. They addressed the speed, they addressed youth, they addressed that backup quarterback issue, because I don't want us to have to go out every year and, get some old backup quarterback like we did with Josh McCown, or, you'd have to go out and get someone, off the free agent market that's pretty much retired, but still willing to come back, I want someone that's going to be in that locker room, and obviously Nate Studfeld has said he does not want to be a backup quarterback. He wants to start, and obviously we have a starter in Carson Wentz. So, we're just probably going to either look to trade him down the line, or we're just going to let him go in free agency. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with him, and it'll be interesting to see what they do with Jalen Hurts, because Doug Peterson is a great offensive mind. And if he has a plan for Jalen Hurts, and he can, do some big play or something like that, like the Philly special, it'll be really interesting to see, and I think Eagles fans will love it. So I really like the selections this year. We got really fast, and we got a lot of weapons for Carson Wentz. So hopefully we won't be dropping the ball anymore in big situations. Hopefully we can make the playoffs and make it deep into the playoffs this year. So yeah, that's about it for me, guys. Hope you guys are all having an amazingly good day. Hoping to drop a podcast soon. So yeah. Alright, guys. See you guys later. Stay safe and healthy. Goodbye. Whoosh.